Over the last 10 years, companies that have invested in design have shown better results than companies that have not.
The difference is a staggering 211%. This basically just shows how important design is when we are trying to reach out to our target audience.
Hi everyone, I'm Kanti
And I'm Pooja.
and we are here to share some tips and tricks to help you design your website better. Before we go ahead, please click on the subscribe and bell icon below. So Pooja, what do you think is UI design?
So user interface is basically these access points where the user interacts with your website. So as a UI designer, our job is not restricted to creating beautiful or aesthetic websites, but it goes deeper than that, like kind of predicting how your user would interact with your website and creating an interface that is as seamless as possible, making the user's navigation that much more simple.
So some of the few skills that a user interface designer needs to have are research. He must be able to research on the user behavior and on the competitors. Creativity. So it is not that we always come up with ideas that work. We sometimes come up with ideas that do not work. So we need to brainstorm and find ways to overcome the block. Do check out our video on creative thinking. And prototyping, where you release a first version of it to check for bugs. And of course the tools that help you in that last bit of puzzle in creating great design. Do check out our video on our other tools as well.
So Kanti, we all know what a call to action is, and we know that it's super integral in like a website. But what is the difference between a positive and a negative call to action, and how do we bring it about?
So on a website, we want the user sometimes to create a positive action. For example, like to submit a file or to submit their details. So such an action results in a positive CTA, submit, upload, etc. The inverse of this is maybe a negative call to action or a negative action, which is to delete a file or so. Since the human eye reads from the left to right, it always helps in keeping your negative CTA in the left and the positive CTA in the right.
Another added thing, when you want your positive call to action to stand out, using vibrant, bright colors always helps.
For one of our leading FMCG brands, we used a very colorful layout for the entire website and bright bold CTAs to catch the user's attention.
So all users are basically searching for information when they get on a website. So this information that they're searching for basically differs from person to person, but the method they use to find this information is usually similar.
To make the search experience easier, it helps to group the text together and align them to a precise grid. Using a precise grid all through the website makes it easier for the user to find what they're searching for and faster as well.
So Kanti, when I get on a website and I see icons, I feel like the information is being really precise and it looks very appealing. But how do I make sure that these icons go seamlessly with my website?
Icons are actually a great way to show your information pictorically, especially in our real estate websites that we curate. We use a lot of icons, but what we do is sometimes use it on a very sharp background and give it full colors that becomes a little difficult on the human eye. So the easier solution to this is just reduce the opacity of the icons by 10 or 15% to give it that smoother finish. So let's just analyze a little more on navigation design. So Pooja, which among these two do you think look better?
So I think I like this one better. So when I see a website, when there are too many borders, it usually looks super cluttered and it's like a lot is happening, so it's really busy. So when we have especially like navigation menus and stuff, I think it's more important that it looks less cluttered and it looks very efficient. That allows the user to just go through the entire design and let them choose what they want. So what do you think?
Correct. So removing the borders and giving that extra padding space always makes your design look a little more seamless and cleaner and easier for the user to interact as well.
So Kanti, we know web forms are one of the most essential parts of a website, and we here ourselves make a lot of landing pages because lead generation is very important. So how do you think we should design a web form to make it look as seamless at the same time, kind of serve its purpose?
So the form could be one of the first points where the user actually interacts with the website or the landing page. So using a two-column approach helps in making actually two purposes. First, it makes it responsive on all platforms on the desktop and on the mobile. Second, it helps in breaking down an extensively large form into smaller, friendlier versions, making it more inviting for the user to relate with it. and making the final stage of conversion easier as well.
Call to actions are essential for the final conversion to happen, and one of the most important things is the font in the call to action being big and bold. Another thing, when we do design these call to actions, we are very aware that there should be a contrast between the background and the button, but we tend to forget that there should be a contrast between the font and the button too. That is one really important point that we have to keep in mind. Also, talking about lead forms, we have a video on lead form ads, and you can check it out right here. Another thing that I really like seeing on websites are micro interactions. Micro interactions are like events with one main purpose, which is to create a sense of feeling, emotional, like probably welcoming, relief, or dare I say humane with the user.
So it is like that tick in the Swiggy icon where it says after your order is placed, it just gives you that sense of relief that your food is actually on its way.
Exactly. So if these micro interactions are just these tiny design elements, why do we keep them on a pedestal?
So these micro interactions also serve a little functionality purpose as well. For example, it increases or helps in your navigation getting better. It gives you a better sense of interaction. It encourages you in commenting, liking and sharing the content. It gives you feedback, and it also makes your website that little emotional. So let's look at some of the functionality examples of micro interactions. The first one would be swipe. Swipe helps in avoiding tapping, which I personally don't like doing on my phone, and I'm sure others do as well. Second, it helps in the navigation and makes it easier for users to look at more information from the same website. Since the normal action that you do in your mobile is swiping, it is as such a very good thing to avoid user fatigue and avoiding them from leaving the website.
Second is data input. So when I'm on a website and I'm trying to make a password, it's usually such a tedious process because I never know if it's strong enough. But having these small interactions at the bottom that kind of let you know whether it's strong or weak or whatever, kind of just makes the entire process a little less tedious, and I feel like I'm interacting, and it also gives me a sense of safety because I know that the website has my back.
The third would be current status tracking. So when there's a user in a website, you don't actually want to make them wait for a long time waiting for your feedback from the other end. So if you give them a current status of what is actually happening with their information, it keeps them engaged to that page, and it also avoids them from leaving the website not knowing what is happening.
The last one would be basically animated buttons. So animated buttons are like information managers, but in a really quirky sense. They basically give you the information that you're looking for. For example, if let's say it says upload and you're trying to upload some information, it gives you the status of how much is being uploaded. But at the same time, there's these animations that kind of keep you engaged with the website, which just makes the experience a whole lot better.
Hope you guys found these tips and tricks useful.
Share with us your experience of using these tips and tricks in the comments below.
Like, share and subscribe.
Bye!
Hey guys!
We're the team behind Digital Bytes. We hope you found these videos informative. If you have any suggestions or topics that you want us to cover,
Please comment below.
don't forget to hit subscribe.
Thank you.